Hello there, Qckslvrslash, here again today with another World of Warships replay. Today I am driving the Tier 4 American premium battleship, the Arkansas Beta, that was handed out to individuals who participated in the closed beta test. I'm playing along with two of my common division mates, Savea, who is driving the Tier 4 Japanese battleship, the Miyogi, and Flying Goomba driving in his Tier 4 premium Japanese cruiser, the Yubari. Now what do I think of the Arkansas Beta? Well, off the bat, it's pretty much a Wyoming with one distinct difference. It has no AA, none. Not a bad rating, none. Now this can be very troublesome if you get into a match with a smart Tier 4 or Tier 5 or 6 carrier captain who knows you can't do a thing to stop him. So you have to hang out in your cruisers a lot, and luckily having a division mate driving the Yubari, he had that AA cooldown in case we had come up against an enemy carrier. Luckily for me particularly, there's not one in this battle. One of the reasons I'm going to highlight this battle today and am sharing it with you is just to show what some coordinated communication teamwork can really accomplish in this game. The three of us have played together a fair amount. We have a good understanding of how each other play, and we coordinate. We don't just all empty our guns out at the same target, particularly low health ones. You know, if someone's got shots in a couple seconds, they'll be like, 5 seconds I have shots on this person, so that you know not to waste your shells on them as well. And you'll see a couple examples of that where I hold fire despite having ready guns just to see if my teammates kill them before I fire mine. So we're proceeding down to the south cap of A. Most of our team is heading to the north, so it's going to be the three of us along with a friendly Qckslvrslash, and he ends up being a big help throughout this entire game. A lot of credit to him. His name was Raffle the Waffle. So I feel on Solomon Islands, the A cap often gets neglected. A lot of people will rush straight into B and do the kind of torpedo soup in the center of the map, and a lot of ships will die often. And most seem to like to proceed north to C. It's led to me preferring, I should say, to going south to A, because I feel I can personally make a bigger effect. You get more one-on-one battles rather than the 5-on-5 where you can get focused down quickly up north if you play a little aggressive. So right away we see this enemy Miyogi. I'm just waiting to get a clean shot so I can line it up. And I put out a full volley. It's giving me his broadside and I'm hoping for big damage. Shells are looking good. A little far forward. Don't get any citadels. Still do almost 6,000 damage. But Raffle the Waffle absolutely ends him. And it's just another case of a low-tier battleship driver driving in a straight line. At certain points you should just know that a destroyer may be in the vicinity, particularly if you get spotted when you're not expecting it and you're not seeing anyone else. Weave a bit, change your speed. That is how you stay alive in a battleship, particularly with stealth firing destroyers. So now we've got this dirt speed coming up. I get a little greedy, fire over my ally. I hit him with one of my shells, but I get the kill. And I was laughing pretty hard, get the friendly fire warning. But to me, worth it, got the kill. Meanwhile, a couple enemy destroyers are breaking through B. Our friendly Wyoming makes short work of the Wicks that comes out. The Qckslvrslash trailing a little behind. Meanwhile, the four of us who went to the south have our next target in the Tier 4 American battleship, the Wyoming. And with him more or less all alone versus four of us, we just start focusing fire and taking big hits out of him. Now you'll notice right now I'm waiting. I can see he's turning. I'm not going to waste the shots when he's end on. I'm going to wait for him to give me that broadside to take a better, higher percentage chance at getting a Citadel shot and the big damage. And no Citadels, but a solid 9,500 damage done to him. And there's that Qckslvrslash. I'm looking back at him, thinking about firing shots, but at the range he's at, I don't think I can consistently hit him. And he's about to kill our Wyoming. There his torps go. So he's going to disappear. So that's kind of just something I'm keeping in the back of my head as I continue to press around this corner. Goomba is leading the charge. He's trying to close that Wyoming to be able to get his torps off. Right here I was actually holding my shots. I asked Savea who he was shooting at. He said the Dresden. I waited for his shells to hit before firing mine. I didn't want to waste an entire volley on something that was already dead. But his didn't kill him, so I fired mine, got 3 over penetrations, and it was enough to polish him off. So while the 4 of us have pushed around the south here, the rest of our team has pretty much melted in the north. Save a battleship and cruiser who are currently trying to run away from all the ships chasing them down. The north is lost to us. And this is where I started talking to Goomba in the game saying, you know, can you start turning back, come back towards A? I know an Qckslvrslash is going to be trying to hunt me down. I want you between me and him. He's more maneuverable, he's got a better concealment, more likely that he can get that Qckslvrslash. So you'll see in a second here, he starts to loop back to come support me. And he just got his first kill, putting a set of torps into that Wyoming, finishing him off. So the group of 4 of us who went down to A have killed 4 ships. We basically saw an equal variety, you know, a pair of battleships, a cruiser, and destroyer. So in a way, we've carried our weight. We took out the enemy's versions of us. You see, I keep just checking my shoulder when I got spotted there. And then my secondaries go off, and I start to turn left. Now this could have been a misplay by me. I think had I turned right, I could have dodged the torps that he has already put in the water, but my thinking was he may not have done it yet. I wanted to try to finish him before he did. Unfortunately, he already had them in the water, so I end up eating 3 of the torpedoes, but he gets finished off by Savea. 1 more ship done. I stem the flooding, hit my heal consumable, and I'm still sitting at about 50% hit points. So with only 1 remaining battleship, friendly battleship, left from the north, this game comes down to the group of us who push south. So the key here is we need to try to control a cap, because if we let them keep B this whole time, we've lost the game. They'll outcap us on points, and that's just something you can't come back from, because then they can just run away and let the game run out on points. So as a group, we start pushing towards B, and we all start trying to get rid of this enemy Wicks. Now I am very conscious of the fact throughout all of this that he is 7 kilometers away. I am just outside torpedo range, so I do need to be careful. But I know for the most part, I am safe from any torpedoes from that enemy destroyer. I just wash his decks with a set of shots there. There's his other set of torpedoes. I'd already turned in. I'm also pretty confident they're not even going to reach my ship, which, as you can see, they don't, even with me having closed the distance. So right now, Goomba is going into B. He's going to try to cap it out from under them. I'm going to provide the fire support. Savea and the Qckslvrslash are pushing around to continue to put pressure on that Wicks, and to put pressure on that enemy Wyoming that is coming down from C. Meanwhile, I am taking advantage of this beautiful broadside the enemy Wyoming's given me. He misses all his shots. I put in about 5,000 damage to him. Happy with that. But I'm going to continue to the south. I'm going to put this island between me and him, because our focus right now has to be maintain numerical advantage. So if I stop here and start a 10-kilometer duel with this Wyoming, odds are he could finish me if he's a half-decent shot. He seems to be firing HE at everything, and he switched to shooting at Goomba to try to stop him from capping. Luckily he misses all of them. Goomba puts the engines on and starts to try to get out of there. But as you can see, he eats one or two more shots, leaving him on pretty low health, but he accomplished what we needed. He got the cap away from them, so now we're starting to close in on that lead they held, and with the enemy wicks destroyed, we've actually taken a momentary lead in the kills. But this is specifically what I was talking about with numerical advantage. None of those enemy ships to the north have shots at any of us anymore. So it's essentially 3-on-1, soon to be 4-on-1 when Goomba joins us against this Wyoming. He's on full health, but there's no way he can compete with the amount of firepower all of our ships combined have. And by working around these islands and keeping them between us and the majority of the enemy ships, we're able to focus down a single target. Now this also kind of can be a teaching point for any of you on the other side of things. If you ever start to get that numerical advantage, don't split up. Stick together, try to maintain the caps. Because if you're together, the odds that one ship can come in and destroy you, or a group of ships can destroy you, is much lower. Whereas if you've split up, like they all have, you have this one Wyoming, Halberd 79, down here facing us. Their other one is just starting to drive into B, and both their cruisers are just north of A, having chased down our remaining Wyoming. A nice healthy shot there, another 9,500 damage. He is tunnel visioned in on Savea and his Miyogi right now, just giving me beautiful broadsides. He's paying no attention to Flying Goomba, who's behind us, just throwing HE occasionally at him. You can see he's got a fire. And I've got a couple more seconds until I put a volley. I'm already starting to turn, which ends up taking two of my turrets out of the equation, and I don't quite finish them, but the fire Flying Goomba started on him is more than enough to finish him off. I threw the shells out there for safe measure. And while we were dealing with that Wyoming, the other one that, pushed through B all alone got destroyed by our Isakaze's torpedoes. So we went from a numerical disadvantage and really no position on the map. All of us were to the south. We didn't have all the bases. To an advantage, we capped B, which forced them to come in and recap it from us. But they're coming at us one at a time. And that Kuma just gave Savea his broadside, and he eats it. It's not hard to kill a cruiser when you're in a battleship, 8k away, when they're just giving you broadside. So that leaves only one enemy left. They've got a slight point lead right now. I really feel that this Yubari still actually has a chance to walk away with this game. For those of you who watch the Mighty Jingles, you'll notice the other day, or today depending when you watch uploads, he had a game in his Tier 4 Svetlana where he did, I think, 165,000 damage. It was a 1v6 at one point. He didn't end up winning the game, but he took a surprising number of them out, and that was just by controlling the engagement. And this Yubari still has the opportunity to do that. With where Savea is in his Miyogi, he no longer has shots. I'm about to lose my shots. He's undetected. He holds most of the caps. If he were to turn left and proceed to cap A from us, I will not beat him there. Savea, which the Miyogi is a very quick battleship, probably can't get there either. So having B and C, I think his smart play would have been to break contact, try to get to A, and just try to maintain caps and hope that we split up and that he can fight us one-on-one. Now right here, our Qckslvrslash, I think, is getting a little greedy. Rather than just, remain concealed and cap B, he decided to put rounds into the air, giving up his position, and the Yubari almost gets him. But with his cap advantage quickly disappearing and our number advantage, the Yubari turns in, hoping to, I think, chase down this Qckslvrslash and get one last kill. Unfortunately for him, I had already turned to help cap B, talk to Surveya. He decided, I'm going to go get C. That way we get all the caps. We can close down the point lead that the enemy team still holds from that early cap advantage, and pretty much guarantee ourselves that even if this Yubari tries to run away, that in the next 4 minutes of the game, that we can walk away with a win. But it's right now that I notice the cap counter on B has stopped ticking up. I know where the Yubari is. He's somewhere inside this cap circle, and since I hadn't seen him ahead, he's somewhere just behind this point of land that my guns are pointing at. And when he gets spotted, I take the time to make sure every single one of my guns are on him, and I end him.
We've destroyed an enemy cruiser.
So, by the end of that game, the group of 4 of us who proceeded to the south, myself, Goomba, Surveya, and Raffle the Waffle, were responsible for 10 kills. We carried the game as a group of 4, and most of that was done by controlling our position on the map and sticking together as a group. It allowed us to focus fire down and prevented the enemy from ever really singling one of us out. I'd like to thank Flying Goomba and Surveya for playing with me and letting me use this replay. I hope it was informative and gives you some insight on how you can play both as a division, but these are all tactics you can use in a standard random battle. If it's you and one guy left on a map, don't split up. Try to stay together and use the terrain to your advantage. Make them come to you and expose themselves, hopefully one at a time. Thank you very much for watching. Comment below on how you think the mic quality is. I've done it a little differently this time. It's also actually a new mic. And tomorrow I'm going to have a World of Tanks video with you that I hope you'll all enjoy. Thank you very much. Have a good night.